One. What is going on, everybody? Nitro Freak here, back with another Eagles stream here with the COO of Eagles Nation, the Zompster. How you doing today? I know you're living up there in New York, bumblefuck New York, but oh shit, I gotta mute that. Sorry about that. And that happens from time to time, but whatever. But you're up there in bumblefuck New York. How's it going on up there?
It's freezing over here, freezing my balls off over here. But thank you for having me again. I appreciate it. And let's get down to business.
Yeah, let's do it. So the title is called The Horror Show at the Linc on Monday night. And by the meanings of that, both teams are not very good, but we are playing the New York Giants, who are absolutely piss poor. In my opinion, they're the worst team in the whole National Football League. I don't see anything that tells me that we're going to lose this game unless we just forfeit it, because the Giants just suck that bad. Now, we do have a special guest returning at the Linc on Monday night, and that is one Eli Manning, who you absolutely love. I would love to hear your opinions on that, and what do you think is going to change when it comes to the QB switch of this game?
I mean, listen, you know me. I absolutely despise the New York Giants. It's everything that you said. I mean, everything is laid out for us now. You see Dallas losing against the Bears. Now we have the New York Giants. I don't want to take this game for granted. Obviously, we are better than them as bad as we are this year, as bad as we're playing this year. We are better than the New York Giants, but I know Eli Manning knows that we own him, especially in Philadelphia, and there's nothing more that he would love to do than to end our playoff hopes.
Yeah.
A part of me, I have to say, as the week goes on, I'm feeling a little bit better about our team. Like, I feel a little better about this game, but during the week, I hear Eli Manning, and all I felt was, oh my God, 300 yards, 350 yards, 4 touchdowns. Oh, how can he do it? How can you? Listen, anything is possible in the National Football League. And I'm talking to you realistically, not as a fan. I'm talking to you as a NFL quote unquote expert.
Guru.
But I mean, listen, anything could happen. I'm as the Philadelphia Eagles, they know what's at stake. The Giants have nothing to play for, but yes, they want to spoil our playoff opportunities. But listen, everything is there for the Philadelphia Eagles. Everything. You got home crowd. It's going to be raining. Just get to Eli Manning. You know what I mean? Get to Eli Manning. Saquon is not 100%. I don't see – I mean, can I see us losing? Yes. But I just – under the circumstances that now Dallas just lost again and handing us the division, saying, here, take it.
Yeah.
I just can't see Eli Manning, who hasn't played since week 2, and Golden Tate doesn't scare me. Evan Ingram on 1 foot doesn't scare me. Saquon on 1 foot doesn't scare me. The offensive line stinks. I expect Brandon Graham to destroy Nate Solder. I mean, anything can happen, but as the week goes by, I feel a little bit better.
Now, I was texting you last week before the Miami Dolphins game, and I texted you. I was like, quote unquote, I am an asshole because I put the Miami Dolphins in a parlay at plus 400 because let's be real. I saw the Miami Dolphins coming at their own stadium beating us because Ryan Fitzpatrick always kills us. No matter the circumstance, no matter the situation, always plays up to our level. It doesn't matter what team he's on. The Dolphins aren't that good, but these weren't the same Dolphins that we saw in the beginning of the year. They're playing a lot tougher for their coach Flores, and I just believe that was that one trap game that we have every single year that just doesn't work in our favor. And I think this Monday night we're going to absolutely demolish and destroy the New York Giants. So honestly, I don't see how anyone could see we're going to lose this game. I just don't see it. I think the Giants are the worst team in football. I really do.
Well, the standings don't lie. I mean, conference, they're dead last in the conference, and it's everything that you said, right? Your lips to God's ears that everything that you said was right. I mean, how can we actually lose? And then you said Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think the last time we beat Ryan Fitzpatrick was with Sam Bradford with Chip Kelly, I believe. That was the last time we beat them, and I was at MetLife. But like I said, everything is there for the taking for the Philadelphia Eagles. At this point, I just want to win, even if it's an ugly win. I mean, I want to destroy the New York Giants. You know how bad I despise this team. I despise their fans, but you just get the W. No matter how, no matter what, just get the W and let's just start going.
Yeah, 100%. We have 4 games left. The Dallas Cowboys look absolutely abysmal. Jerry Jones actually cursed on a talk radio show the other day, and they got hung up on. And that just shows you right there. I don't know why he's hanging on to Jason Garrett, but I'm happy he is because it just shows that he's an old man. He's in denial, And I love every second of it because if they had a different coach right now, they'd probably play better. And I told you this on Thursday night. Everyone asks me time in and time out, is Dak Prescott a good quarterback? I still stick by saying yes, he is. He's not coached up right. You saw the first drive in that game. They looked dominant. They drove right down the field. You text me, you're like, see, bitch, I told you Dallas was a lock. And I'm like, it's a whole game in the NFL, And then the coaching didn't change. They kept going with the same play calling. They didn't change anything up. And then it created a mismatch, and the Bears destroyed them, and that's all she wrote. The coaching stinks over there in Dallas. It has nothing to do with Dak. Do I think he deserves $40 million? No. But I don't think he's a shit quarterback. And that's what scares me going into that Cowboys game, because I feel like if we do beat these next two teams, the Giants and the Redskins, I feel a lot of people are going to think that the Cowboys game's an easy win. I don't know, man. But honestly, it's looking good right now. But there's one question I do want to ask you. Mm-hmm. How confident are you right now on a scale from 1 to 10 that we are going to go on a run and make the playoffs?
I'm in between. I'm in the middle. I mean, what have the Eagles shown me that they could get on the run? I mean, like you said, Ryan Fitzpatrick owns us, but we should have beat Miami. We started off strong, and to me, I'm in between. Like, part of me, is that fan comes out, but the other part of me, the realistic part comes out. We've been very inconsistent, whether it's the injuries, whether it's the O-line, whether it's Wentz, whether it's Doug Peterson. I mean, listen, I'm in between, and that's the honest truth. So I'm at a 5. I just feel that this team hasn't shown me much. They showed me maybe glimpses, like even in the first quarter. The first half of the Miami game, they showed me, okay, the defense is ready to play. The last 3 weeks against the Patriots and Seahawks, the offense inconsistent, then the offense gets going, and the defense gives up 37 points. They're very inconsistent. They have to put it all together. I don't know if they have to simplify it, whatever it is. They got 4 games left against 3 out of 4 against actually all four teams under 500. So listen, I'm in between because they haven't shown me much.
Yeah. Now, this week against the Giants, I have as a win. I just think the Giants are that bad. Next week against the Redskins, another story. They're playing well without Josh Norman right now. They're actually playing like one of the better teams in the division. That's not saying much. But, yeah, let's take it one game by one game, game by game. I just feel like, what Doug is doing with Carson Wentz right now in practice with the RPOs is actually something he should have done a long time ago, because you expanded this playbook for Carson Wentz thinking that he was like a great-minded quarterback, which I know he's not. So if you dumb down the playbook like you did with Foles for Carson Wentz, I feel like the sky's the limit for Carson Wentz, but you got to be consistent with it. You can't have him throw the ball 40 to 45 times. You got to stick with the game plan and just run the RPOs. It's really that simple.
I mean, listen, like you said, and I agree with you 100%. You got to simplify things, especially when things are not going around. Whether it's the inconsistency of Wentz, whether it's the injuries that are making them not play well, whether it's he's just lacking confidence. You have to, as a coach, if you're a good head coach, and this is why when I made that video about Doug Peterson, is that everybody was saying it's Wentz, it's the injuries. I think it's Doug Peterson, and that not because he's the head coach and it starts with the head coach. It's because, well, actually it is. Doug Peterson, you have to see what's going on. Why are we scoring 20 points? Why are we scoring? You have to take everything under consideration, whether it is the injuries, whether it is Wentz. Simplify things. Look at his footwork. Look at his inconsistency of throwing, erratic. Simplify things. Now, you're going to go to the RPOs. I'm all for it. I'm all for change. That proves to me that you're trying to change it up. You're trying to help your quarterback. That's all I've been asking for all year long, was after all these injuries, you're continuing to play your offense, to call your offense the same way as if Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson were playing. You can't do that, especially that's why you got rid of Mac Hollins. That's why you got rid of Jordan Matthews. They're not getting separation. It's not the same team. That's why, in my opinion, Carson Wentz holding on to the ball. That's why he's erratic. He's pressing too much. Carson Wentz needs help, and that's it. He'll be a very good quarterback if you get help. He's not one of those, like I said last week on the show, or 2 weeks on the show, about he's not an Aaron Rodgers, he's not a Tom Brady, that he's going to elevate these players. Needs help. So now I'm hoping that, like you said, he's diving into the playbook, dumbing it down, like I like to say, dumbing it down, simplifying it, using the RPO, run the ball more, especially if you have a lead. control the clock, and let's get this W.
Well, I would like to run the ball more, but what's up with Jordan Howard? He's been out with a stinger for about 4 weeks now. So I don't know what's going on there. I'm not bringing Jordan Howard back. I don't care what anybody says. The guy is not ever available when we need him, and you need to find someone else. You could find running backs anywhere in the league in the offseason, so that's not a problem. He's a Pro Bowler for 1 year. You know, a lot of people like to hang on to these players, and I'm just not one of them. I don't see the special talent in Jordan Howard. I think he's a good back, but I don't think he's one that you need to hang on to, especially because he's not available. You know, so I feel like we need to draft a running back next year. I don't know what round, but I feel like somewhere in that draft we do need to take care of that running back position.
Late, in my opinion, late in the round, we need a wide receiver. We need a speedy wide receiver, and that's what I think is the top priority going into the draft next year. I mean, I'm tired of it. Like, you start with Deshaun gets hurt. Nelson Aguilar is not that guy. Can't track a ball. He's got speed, but he can't track a ball. I think we need to go speedy wide receiver. That's just my opinion. Running back, you got Miles Sanders now. You signed Jay Ajayi. Who knows what's going to happen next year? I mean, I always loved Jordan Howard. When we signed him, I said, this guy's underrated. He's going to be a good back. And he showed it when he's healthy that even when there's nothing there, he'll get 2-3 yards. Good hard pound runner. It's just unfortunate. I think it's more than a stinger because, come on, 3 weeks for a stinger shoulder injury, I don't buy it. Maybe he's got a shoulder separation. He doesn't want to say it. But I have no idea what the situation is with Jordan Howard.
It has to be a contract thing because the training staff lies about something every single year, it seems like. So I don't know if it's a stinger. Maybe you're right. But if it were a stinger, he's probably the biggest bitch on the planet.
I got to agree with you on that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Miles Sanders. You know, everyone loves this guy. I'm not a huge fan of Miles Sanders. I don't think there's anything special in him. Now, he is a rookie. Miles Sanders is a rookie, but I just don't see anything that
he's shown flashes. I'm not a fan yet. Like, I'm not saying I'm not a fan. Like, I hope he succeeds in the NFL if he's with us, but he's shown glimpses that he could, he has that burst. He has the speed. He could catch the ball. I don't know if he could be the number one guy running the ball. You know what I mean? I don't think he's the right type of back for that. He's kind of, I see him as a Sproles guy. That's just me, like a bigger Sproles. That's the way I see him. Maybe I'm misjudging him, but from what I see, I think he's overhyped right now.
Maybe just a little bit, but the running back position, it's just been up and down all year. But let's talk about the wide receiver position right now because Nelson Aguilar might be rolled out for Monday night. And to me, that's big. He has been dropping passes all year, but let's be real. If I'm being completely honest with Eagles Nation right now, Nelson Aguilar is still probably our best wide receiver we have other than Alshon Jeffrey. So he needs to play this Monday night, no matter what. I don't know the severity of the injury, but he needs to step it up. He needs to get in there, and he needs to play because this division is ours for the taking, and you never know what could happen if you get into the playoffs. So you got to at least get into that spot. And I feel like this is a great way to answer your critics, to destroy a team like the Giants on Monday night and just get on a run here. So with that being said, what do you have? Who are your players of the game on offense and defense? And what is your score for the game on Monday?
I don't like to do this. I don't like to make a prediction, but the offensive player of the game is number one has to be the defense. Has to stop Eli Manning. Like that's how you're going to win this game, is stopping Eli Manning, not making him score points. I just, not that I don't see it, because I could see him lighting us up. I could just see the writings on the wall, But the defense has to get to Eli Manning. Simplify the defense. Just hit Eli Manning. Eli Manning, listen, he can get a rhythm. He's a rhythm quarterback. He has to get into rhythm. Hasn't played in 2 weeks. I just don't see how he's got the timing down. You could practice all you want for how many hours you want. In the game, it's different. Now you're going up against a good pass rush because that's what we have. We have a good pass rush. Our secondary shit, in my opinion. Definitely the defense. It's the D-line. You got to get to Eli Manning. Secondly, my boy, Carson Wentz, he's got to play up to par. I believe Nelson Aguilar is going to play because last week, if you forget or you don't remember, that he was not practicing all week long, and now all of a sudden he played. He looked pretty good. He was breaking tackles in the Miami game. I think they're just being cautious with him, so he will play. But Carson Wentz has got to show me something. Listen, you're playing the worst team in the league, and I'm not saying that as talking smack. I'm saying that as statistically, they are the worst team in the conference. You have Alshon Jeffrey. You're going to have Nelson Aguilar. You won't have Jordan Howard. You have Ertz. You have Goddard. You have, the running game, Sanders and Ajayi. Offensive line is healthy. With Carson Wentz, I expect him to come out and play a game. Whether it's raining or not, I expect you to play your game against the worst team in the league. Show me something. You played well against Miami. You're playing an even worse team now. Yes, it's a divisional game, but listen, go out and play your game. I'm ready for it. Let's break it out. It's 4 weeks. This is the time to start it.
Yeah.
And the third player is not actually a player. It's Doug Peterson. How is he going to coach this game? How is he going to have this game plan? Are you going to continue to run pass the ball when we have a lead? If we have a lead and we're up 17-3 at halftime, are you going to come out throwing? Are you going to come out? Hopefully, maybe the rain is a gift, is a blessing, because it'll make him run the ball more. So we shall see. I mean, those are my 3 points, but it relies on the defense. Just stop Eli Manning. We win the game, in my opinion. And
you're pumping me up with this whole Carson Wentz thing, because I've been saying the whole season, and fans have been getting on me. All right, I used to be at this radio show that everyone loved Carson Wentz no matter what. All right, and this seems to go the same way of everyone else in the fan base. Everyone wants to blame everyone but Carson Wentz, and I see a big problem in that. Now, this game on Monday night is his game. All right, he's gonna have to answer the critics on this game, because let's face it, he has to play the best he can be, or we're fucked, because you're not going to run the ball. Doug Peterson always shies away from the run. He has to be perfect with his throws. Maybe that's why they're running the read option. RPOs, because let's face it here, he hasn't been good. And I don't care what anybody says. Carson Wentz this year has been below average, and he needs to step it up. He was our number 2 pick overall. He was a stud in 2017. And, you got to make him roll out a little bit more, because him in the pocket sucks. He's not a pocket passer. Right. And if you roll him out, he's probably one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Pocket presence-wise, worst quarterback I've seen in a long time. And he needs to get out of that pocket, and he needs to do it consistently, or else I don't know. I just don't know what they expect out of him. I don't. And that does fall on coaching. You are right about that. But I think I saw a stat the other day with him in the pocket. He has a 52.4 QB rating. Rolling out of the pocket, he's better than Russell Wilson with a 94.2 rating.
So what does that tell you? That should tell you right there. It's coaching.
Yeah.
I mean, what else could it be?
Yeah. Yeah, he's like one of the worst quarterbacks in the pocket, and they keep him in the pocket because they don't want him to get hurt. You paid him a boatload of money, and you're keeping him in the pocket. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Just make a design, draw up designs, draw up plays that, all right, this guy, it's just like what they did with Nick Foles. The RPOs, you did it. So now you see Carson Wentz. It's impossible for Doug Peterson not to know about the stat. Oh, my God, this guy in pocket awareness, this guy outside the pocket. Draw up plays, bootleg, play actions. He even did it against Miami. Rolled out to the right, found Whiteside. I mean, I don't understand why Doug Peterson, he makes it so difficult for himself. It's not that difficult.
No, it's not at all. And you need to do some play designs. Now, this is where I'll say that Doug Peterson will fall into the experience category over everyone else. Like if we were to get to the playoffs and face the 49ers, it depends on these next 4 games on if I see any confidence of where they could beat a team like the 49ers. If you do roll out Carson Wentz a little bit more, you create separation among the receivers that you have, because I think our wide receivers are a little bit better than people are saying they are. Let's just be real. I don't think they're bums. I just think people are blaming the receivers over Carson Wentz. But if you actually roll out Carson Wentz and these receivers get wide open and Nelson Aguilar gets his confidence back, this team is actually pretty fucking talented. They really are. And you know what? And I saw that face there. You're like, maybe not. You don't think they're that talented, but I disagree. I think when at full strength, this team, and with Jackson back, I think this team could compete with anybody in it.
With Jackson, absolutely. And listen, Alshon, I just don't like, all the media stuff. Like, look, we don't know if it's true or not, but Alshon's name always keeps coming up, so that's why I have a bad taste in my mouth with Alshon. I respect him because he does play hard, and he won a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? But like the thing with Aguilar, I'm tired of Aguilar. I'm tired of it. It's just like, how do you go from 2016 you played the way you played, and then 2017 you were great, and then 2018 and 19 you come back to normal. It doesn't make sense to drop balls the way he's dropping balls. I'm done with Aguilar. That's why I'm like, we need him now because that's how desperate we are.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I think he's good. It's that he's better than Greg Ward. He's better than anybody else besides Alshon Jeffrey. It's just that we need Deshaun back, and it's just a shame because I would be talking more confidently if we had Deshaun. It's just a big blow. That's why I think it puts more pressure on Peterson. It puts more pressure on Peterson to actually get guys open, to be more creative, and it puts more pressure on Carson Wentz. That's why when you bring up Dak Prescott, I say to myself, everybody wants to blame the coaching. Dak Prescott has a very good squad in front of him. They're all healthy, and he's not performing. At least Carson Wentz doesn't have that, and he doesn't. So it's just the agree or disagree kind of comment, but whatever it is.
Well, the problem is you kind of nailed it on the head with my rebuttal. Nelson Aguilar isn't the guy, and they're putting him out there as the number one. All right, he's not the guy. He's more of like a 3 or 4. And when Deshaun Jackson comes back, I feel like his confidence will get boosted out a little bit. This is why I feel like you need to do slant routes with Nelson Aguilar. Keep it simple, keep it short to get his confidence up, like right across the middle, a quick 5-yard throw, and just boost his confidence up. Make him catch the ball, and then when you finally need to throw that dime down the field, maybe he'll catch it now. Because now all the confidence is there, built back up. And when Deshaun Jackson comes back and resumes that role as a number 1, Nelson Aguilar will be there and he'll be a stud again. So, yeah.
Hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too. Because we need Nelson Aguilar down the stretch. And I feel a run coming. I don't care if we're 9-7, 8-8, 7-9. I don't care. All right. You get into the playoffs. This team is experienced now. We're not losers anymore. All right.
No, I agree. If you get into the playoffs, anything could happen. I've learned that a while ago. But you got to show me something, though. You know what I mean? Like, you get in, fine. If we're in, it's a whole different ballgame. You got to show me something. I want to see consistency. I want to see playmaking. I want to see guys wanting it. You know, I kind of saw it in Nelson Aguilar last week when he broke that tackle and when he caught that ball at the sideline. I see Alshon Jeffrey playing hard. I see the offensive line playing hard. It's just, wins mean everything. So just one win and we'll start going.
Yeah, one win will start going. Like we said, we are the most experienced franchise right now, playoff wise, I think, in the league, other than Seattle. So I mean, you get into the playoffs, make that run, make it count. But by the way, I have a score of this week: 27-7 Birds. I feel we blow them out. They don't score.
I give no scores. I'm very.
You gotta give a score. You're up there in New York. There's a lot of people talking shit to you. Eli Manning's gonna end your hopes. Eli Manning's come back to put you in your funeral. You're wearing black for your own funeral. You gotta talk some shit.
I'm gonna say 24-13 Birds.
All right, I like it. So we cover the point spread. All right, but with that and Real Talk Perez in the comment section is kind of talking shit to you. He said, "Good pass rush?" ? He's talking about the Eagles pass rush because you brought up that we have a good pass rush.
We have. How do we not? We sacked Ryan Fitzpatrick 3-4 times. We got to Brady. We got to Russell Wilson. No, not really. How do we not have a good pass rush? I was talking about pass rush or secondary. Our pass rush is very good, and we always own Eli Manning, especially that the Giants don't have a great offensive line. So I was talking in that essence, but whatever.
Yeah. And there's one more thing I gotta talk about before we wrap this up. For those fans saying that we'd rather tank out to get the playoff spot, listen to me right now.
Yeah, I disagree.
You need Carson Wentz to get a playoff game, no matter if he gets his ass kicked or whatnot. You need him to get into the playoffs with any reason, all right? Because this guy needs to feel that experience. He needs to feel that rush of the fans with the towels. He needs to get into that playoff mode where he won't be nervous come game time for the future. I don't know if we're going to go on a run or not this year, but you do need to have that one playoff game against a good team. You have to, no matter what. And next year we'll talk about the draft. Maybe if we get into the playoffs, we get like the 20th pick. I'll take it. I don't really care. I just want him to get that one playoff game. I want him to get that experience that he hasn't had as an Eagle yet. That Super Bowl year, that was all Nick Foles. A lot of people like to say it wasn't, but it was all Nick Foles. He got us through the regular season. He got us through week 14. He tore his ACL, but shit happens. Storylines happen, and I feel like Nick Foles was the one to win it that year. And let's talk about it. Donovan McNabb, he had great regular seasons, but in the playoffs, he always choked. So I want to see what Carson Wentz does in a high-pressured situation. I want to see if he's a loser or if he's a winner. That's what I want to see, and it's really that simple.
I mean, listen, anybody that says I'd rather get a high draft pick and not make the playoffs is foolish. It's foolish talk. And I'm not a college guy to begin with. I don't really watch college ball, but Howie Roseman can't draft. Let's face it. Yeah. Howie Roseman cannot draft. So everybody that says, oh, Howie Roseman did the right thing of saving this number one pick, or Howie Roseman, he is great with the books. Like I say all the time, he's great with the books, great with contracts. He knows how to, he knows. But when it comes to player evaluation, player talent, look at him. Look what he did in free agency. Didn't do anything. Everything's a bust. Deshaun got hurt. Jordan Howard got hurt. We cannot draft. So I don't understand the people that say, oh, save your picks. I'd rather give up these picks for like I'm talking about in essence, Jalen Ramsey's not doing anything. I wasn't a fan of the Jalen Ramsey trade, even if we got him. But I'm saying at least you know the guy's a good player. I'm always in for, instead of holding the picks, you're getting a guy that is already NFL experienced, is good in the NFL, is respected in the NFL. I'm not into this hypothetical, okay, we got to draft and hopefully Howie Roseman has shown without Joe Douglas, he is not good in player evaluations. Nope. He cannot evaluate players. So Howie Roseman, to me, is the reason why I want to win. But like you said, the number one reason is because of Carson Wentz. Yes, he needs experience. He's going to be entering his 5th year. He needs the experience. Now, unfortunately, if we miraculously do make it, it will probably be against the best defense in the NFC, which is the San Francisco 49ers. Now, I think people have to be realistic, though. Yes, he's going to get the playoff experience that he needs. How bad does he play? How good does he play? Matters, yes. But you also got to take under consideration his first playoff game was not against a bad defense. Yeah. We all have to take consideration he's going to get killed if he really does poorly. But like you said, definitely 100% must make the playoffs so we could get this guy going in the playoffs and get him the experience that he needs.
Yeah, 100%. You nailed it right on the head. We're both in agreement there. And there's nothing more to say about that. Carson Wentz needs his playoff game. He needs to go on a run, and he needs to play great football down the stretch to prove that he is our guy. And he goes into his contract year next year, and we do need Deshaun Jackson back. So those are definitely 3 things that we've nailed on the head. And with that being said, we're about to wrap it up. That is a Zompster. I'm obviously Nitro Freak. Smash that thumbs up button if you like the stream. Click the subscribe button. Zomp will be back with me every single week. And, yeah, I'll be back later at 3 o'clock to broadcast the Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua fight. I have Andy Ruiz, obviously, in that fight, but I'll talk about that later. And, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. And till next week, fly Eagles fly.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. Go Birds, baby.
All right. See you later.